boy all day, do all 47 AM PM popping off as much rugby league information as possible. Right now, continuing on with the first games ever by every team series, and we're up to Balmain Tigers, or Balmain Watersiders as they were also known in the early days. And so you don't miss any imperative rugby league information, which is video all the way through to the end as per always. So there are currently 17 teams in the competition, and there have also been 16 other teams who no longer exist. So that's 33 teams altogether in the Australian Rugby League competition, and Balmain, one of the foundation teams in the first year 1908. Originally, Balmain played at Birchgrove Oval before they moved to Leichhardt later on. Birchgrove Oval is, of course, next to the water, and you can see the Sydney Harbour Bridge, because I've been there, so I know. And Balmain, in their early days, they were called the Balmain Watersiders. They weren't called the Balmain Tigers yet. So, Balmain Watersiders' first ever game was obviously in the first round ever, 1908 round 1, since they were one of the foundation teams, and they ended up beating Western Suburbs easily 24-0. And Western Suburbs Magpies, they weren't called the Magpies yet either. They were actually called the Western Suburbs Fruit Pickers or Cherry Pickers, as they were called at that point in time. So, Balmain, despite this brilliant start, shutting out West 24-0, they couldn't keep it up for the remainder of the season, and there were 10 rounds in the first season, 1908. Balmain had a bye in round 5, which meant they played 9 games, and they ended up with only 3 wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses from their 9 games in 1908. So they finished in 6th place out of 9 teams. 9 teams in the first year, 1908. So they avoided the spoon, but not enough to make the finals either. At least though, with this perfect start against West, 24-0 win, they got 6 tries and 3 goals. Remembering tries used to be 3 points at the time, so that's why 6 tries and 3 goals is 24 points for 3-point tries. So Balmain scorers, the player Al Flatter got 2 tries and 2 goals. The player Robert Graves got 2 tries. The player G. Fitzpatrick got 1 try and 1 goal. And the player George Wilcox got the other 1 try for them. And West not troubling the scorers. The other games that Balmain got some competition points in 1908, just to chuck it in, because it's worth chucking in round 3. They'd managed a 13-all draw with Newtown Jets, or Newtown Bluebags as they were also called. One of the other now extinct teams, which we'll get to eventually in this series. West as well we'll get to eventually. So in round 1, Balmain beat West 24-0. In round 3, they drew with Newtown 13-all. In round 6, they'd beaten Cumberland 16-4. And in round 10, they'd beaten Glebe 10-5. Cumberland, probably thinking, who the hell's Cumberland? They participated in the first year, 1908 only, before becoming extinct after the first year. So they're obviously coming up soon, their first game ever. And who was Glebe? They were called the Glebe Dirty Reds. And they were around 1908 up to 1929 and were like a formidable team, despite never winning a premiership. So at the end of the 1908 regular season, from Balmain's 9 games, they'd scored 86 points in attack, conceded 113 in defence, for and against -27. So, look, I suppose like a reasonable season, like the fact that it was their first season, like they didn't make the finals, but like they weren't like the worst team we've ever seen either. But Balmain, they didn't have to wait very long at all for things to drastically improve. Still in the early days, 1915, 1916, 1917, 1919 and 1920, Balmain Watersiders, of course, won 5 premierships in 6 years. 1915 through to 1920, 1918 was the only year they didn't win the comp. So, despite this not too impressive start to their existence, the first year 1908, they didn't have to wait very long at all for things to get fantastic for them. So there you go. If you're still watching all the way through to the end, thank you so much for not missing any imperative rugby league information. And the next video in the series is obviously doing it alphabetically, so the next one is obviously going to be Brisbane Broncos' first ever game, 1988 round 1, where they destroyed Manly 44-10 at Lang Park. And thank you so much all day for that ongoing skull-cracking, brain-crushing, brutal support. Boy all day, Earl 47, Toodaloo.